what got you what got you into gaming? First of all, when did you start? How old were you? All that stuff.
Damn, that's almost like 10 years ago. No, more. I think if I'm 23 now, I got into gaming when I was maybe 8. I think my dad bought me the first Halo. He bought me Halo when I was super young, and I beat it on Legendary within, I think, a week, the age of 8. And that's when I realized I was kind of good at games. And then I just kind of kept playing and playing. And then my brother wanted to learn from me to play Halo because we would play like back on the first Xbox. There was no internet, so you couldn't
Yeah.
play Xbox Live, I think. So me and my brother would play against each other, and my brother was the older one. So my brother, he convinced our parents to get a computer. So my brother Tommy got a computer, and then I think he played 1.6. But by the time that he got the computer and he was playing 1.6, I already kind of got bored of games. So I stopped playing. And then I think he got Battlefield 2 or something. Yeah, Battlefield 2. And actually, I don't even know. Is it Battlefield 2 or Battlefield 1? Is it the one like there's like the island of Kirkend or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
whatever
that's
the hell
two.
the
We
map
have
is?
two. Yeah,
Yeah, Battlefield 2. Yeah,
yeah.
and I played sniper in that game like an unbelievable amount for like how old I was. I played every day. I'd come home from school and any free hour of the day I'd be playing games. And I mean, I played a little bit. I touched 1.6 a little bit, kind of got into it, but it was a little bit too complicated and people were really mean because you had to use voice chat in that game to be good at like competitive,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So trying to be competitive at a young age, if you have a voice that sounds prepubescent, you get the hammer.
Oh yeah, yeah,
people roast the hell out of you.
yeah.
So I didn't play that game that much competitively, but I did play it for fun. And that's kind of when I was getting into mice. And I think we use like an old like Windows optical mouse. If somebody knows the mouse that's used by pros now, we use that mouse. That kind of my first ever mouse. It's pretty good. It was a really good mouse.
Sure.
But then I played Battlefield 2 for a really long time, and then I think the orange box when TF2 was released in the orange box with like Half-Life 2 and then Portal, I think. It was a big bundle. It was a big bundle of games, and I bought that.
Okay.
And then from there, Jesus, the rest is history, dude. I played TF2 every day, like
Sure.
every hour that I was awake. The first game I played was Half-Life 2. I beat that, and then I beat Portal. That was an incredibly easy game. And then TF2 I got into, and I realized that they had the sniper class. I'm like, hell yeah, I'll play sniper.
Hmm.
Might as well.
Yeah, that's
And I
when you
really
played
liked it.
BF2 and it transitioned over.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah.
it's like I was a sniper in BF2, and I was like, well, this guy's a sniper. And I don't. I tried playing Scout. Scout wasn't that fun. I didn't like the shotgun. I feel like I could do enough with it, and I had to get up into people's face, and my movement wasn't good enough.
Mhm.
So I didn't rely on like my left hand WASD. I relied on my hand to move the mouse and be accurate because I was
Sure.
like, if I'm accurate, then I can shoot people across the map and kill them instantly. That's the best. That's the best way to do it. And I don't know. I just played TF2 a lot, and then my brother Rainey, his name's Tommy, but Rainey was into the competitive scene a little bit more than me. I think TF2 lobbies came out, and we played TF2 lobbies, and we're just crushing it every time. So we were like, damn, we're pretty good at like the 9 versus 9, like Highlander traditional competitive TF2 gaming way, and we just kind of he joined Dead Ringer Storage, and then I think he got me onto that team as well. I forgot how it went, but
How old
that
were
was
you at that point?
oh shit, I had to have been, I don't even know,
High school?
14.
Or middle school
Yeah,
or high school?
I was still in high school. I think
Okay.
freshman year of high school is when I started getting into like competitive TF2, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, about like 14, 15 in that ballpark. And then I think that team was a silver. I forgot how it went. It's so long ago now I think about it. But I just remember I played competitive TF2 first season. Our team wasn't that good. I played all right. I didn't do anything crazy because I wasn't really taking it seriously. Like I'd miss scrims all the time,
Yeah.
and then match day would come around. And we would just be like, hey, play your best,
Right,
hit your
right.
shots,
Yeah.
like dumb stuff. But I showed up. I tried to do my best, and then we kind of did all right. But then I think I got onto a gold team. Uh, TG, Top Gluttons, and I got up as a backup to Turbo. So Turbo was the main sniper for that team, and then I was backup. And it's kind of back when I was starting to take it a little bit more seriously. And then I think somewhere between playoffs or grand finals, one of the games Turbo wasn't able to come in. And then when I played that game, I literally just popped off. Like I literally remember the casters that were casting that game. They called it the Axiomatic Show.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was young, dude. I was popping off. I was literally. I still remember. I tried to find that clip where they said it's the
Yeah.
Axiomatic Show
Yep.
because I wanted to use that for a video because that's cool as hell to have like casters say like one of the first times that a sub comes in that the sub just like takes over the game and
Yeah.
just wrecks everybody. Like that's
Right.
pretty rare. So
Right.
and that quote. So I wanted to make that for a video, but I never found that quote. But I know it's out. My name is always my first name ever was when I played. I don't remember my brother made the name for what's it called Xbox, and then
Xbox.
he
Yeah.
also made it. Yeah, he also made the name for
So you just used his
Battlefield
account
2.
pretty much.
Well, it was his account for those games, but then when I came into, I played First Encounter Assault Recon. The game was called Fear. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember that
Oh yeah.
game.
Yep.
Fear. Yeah, I played Fear, and when I played competitive in that game, or not competitive, but like I was on a
Yep.
clan. You know,
Yep.
it was like I was super young, but it was a clan, and it was like the Hoss clan, and then my first name was Nightmare,
Okay.
and then it transitioned to Axiomatic because my brother told me that there's a college business term called Axiomatic, which is like undefiable or unquestionable.
Hmm.
So I thought that name was pretty cool, like Axiomatic, and then the definition is also pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I played a couple seasons as Axiomatic, and then I forgot what season I capitalized it, just like all caps, and then I saw Axiom, and I was like, hey, I bet you I could actually flip that entire thing upside down and it would still be a word. And then it turned out to be VXIOW,
Mm-hmm.
and then VXIOW just stuck because I don't know, it looked cool.
Yeah.
People were like, it kind of reminded me of like Roman numeral numbers, like Tim the Tap Man. When I played against him in CS:GO one game, he said that like, "Oh, that Roman numeral guy is pretty good" or something like that. And then people kind of remembered me from that. I don't know. It's
Sure.
just like VXIOW is like Roman.
And what separates them from you, really? I mean, what's your opinion on that?
Time in the spotlight, personality. You know somebody that knows somebody. You could be the best player in the world, but like, doesn't matter if you don't get seen, don't get spotted, if you're not at the right place at the right time, if you don't beat the right team at the right time. Like, I don't think I would have ever gotten onto a platinum team if I didn't do really well in that
On that
game where I
sub
subbed for
game.
Turbo.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's literally what I mean. Like, if you don't get lucky, it's literally like an opportunity. If you get given an opportunity and you don't get it, you'll just fade off. I know people that were incredibly good at TF2, and then they just never swapped to Overwatch because they were never really given the opportunity to go and play for like a good team or scrim with a good team. Because there's people that are god tier TF2 players, and then they come to Overwatch, and if they're put on a team with 5 other people for competitive Overwatch, and those 5 suck, that 6th person looks like a shitter. He
Yeah.
looks like he's not good at all. I mean, my diet and my like I think my routine is all right. I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule right now because I'm waking up at like 5 p.m. in the afternoon, so that's really bad. But um, normally my schedule back when I was playing like competitive like TF2 and like when I was starting into Apex before I did like that week of just playing 24 hours like almost every day on 3 hours of sleep, like that type of stuff, that ruined my sleep schedule. But before that, I would normally wake up at I think close to 9, and then 9 I would go eat breakfast, help out the parents with my motel, and then or help out my parents' motel, and then like work with them a little bit just to make sure that everything's running smoothly over there. And then when everything's kind of done there, then I would just hop on my computer and check out what's going on. I don't know if this benefited me or not, but I would watch other people's point of view a lot, like
Mhm.
almost more than I would play. Because when I played TF2, like when I was trying to become the best sniper in TF2 in Platinum Division, like the highest division, I would watch other people play more than I would
Sure.
actually play the game
Watching
or
film.
scrim or match.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
I would watch, I would learn what they do, and because I don't know, that's kind of a mistake that people made back then is when they would play matches, they would like stream it or like their I don't know. I didn't like the idea that somebody could be like, "Hey, can I get the VODs for the game?" And you can literally watch the entire person's point of view for the entire game.
Yep.
And it's very, very easy to pick up on patterns and
Yep.
very easy to pick up on people doing things. So that kind of was part of my routine. I studied other people more than they probably studied me, which is why I was like, I was considered one of the most like terrifying snipers in the game, because anything that you would do, I would know you would do it before you even did it. And
Sure.
then people would try to change up their play style, and because they're changing it up, they would perform worse and their
Yep.
team would lose. So
Yep.
I was a threat in that way. I wasn't even like a I was a threat with my aim, because my aim was really good, and I was also a threat because if you did anything predictable, you would get punished, and
Sure.
people knew that.
Sure.
When we're talking about like aim training, I would say when I was in TF2, there's a aim map where you could go into like, it was like TR aim training walkway or something like that, where people would
Mhm.
just like walk, and then you could set it so that they would zigzag, and then there's other maps that I'd practice, and I'd practice that I think for 2 hours before every match. So I'd go into a aim training map for like 2 hours. I would drink a Red Bull every day that I would practice that wasn't like an actual match day,
Yep.
and that would kind of hone me in to that feeling of being on like a Red Bull like
Kind
high,
of high.
if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Your
Yeah, because you
awareness
get,
and your alert.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like you're in a different state of mind when you're in Red Bull. So I never understood the concept behind some people like drinking a Red Bull right before a game, but like never practicing under the influence of Red
Hmm.
Bull. Because when you're playing on Red Bull and you're not used to it, and that's not how you train and practice, you're not going to perform the same way.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like literally football. It's like playing with a different set of cleats. It's like playing in
Yep.
shoes, or like it's like playing in cleats and then during practice, and then going out into the field for like game day and going out in your sneakers. Like
Right.
it's totally different. You have to train the way that you play.
Yep.
That's the best way I can.
Is it hard with your setup, for example? So like your mouse pad, just your keys, keyboard setup, your mouse, monitors, everything has to get adjusted. Let's say you would move to a tournament setting and go on
Hmm.
site and land. How hard is
Yeah,
that? Even the atmosphere of the temperature. Let's say you have it at a solid 74 degrees at home, but then it goes to
yeah.
68. Now you got to have hand warmers, all that stuff. How does that impact you?
I haven't actually been to a LAN, but I've played video games at other people's houses, and I can tell you that that is like 100% correct. Just swapping from, because people don't even realize it. If you play video games every single day, like hours and hours on end, you are completely adjusted to the situation where you're at. Like you're adjusted to your chair, your seating height, your desk height, your monitor distance from your face, your monitor height from your face, and then your mouse pad position, your keyboard slant, tilt, and everything. If you play on a keyboard that's usually flat, and then you start playing on one that's like that or something, because there's, I don't know, something that's making it go up at LAN or something like that. You know what I mean? Like a
Yeah.
chord. I don't know, but like that type of stuff can just totally throw you off. People don't even realize it's like playing a basketball or playing basketball with a basketball, and then like the thing's deflated during game
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know, but
No,
yeah, I haven't been to a LAN, but I'm gonna go to one pretty soon. We were gonna go to the one in
Jersey, you guys said, yeah.
yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
go to New Jersey LAN, but since I have a 2015 Mustang, I can't drive that in the snow on summer tires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I had like another buddy who has a 2015 BMW S1000R who I'm really good friends with, and I was like, I mean, we both have really fast bikes. I could buy a suit and a helmet and gloves and boots, and we could go out to a track. And he's like, all right, well, we might as well.
Yeah.
So we bought all our stuff, or I bought my stuff, and then I think he already had his. But we went to a track, and I just loved it ever since then. So I just kept going back and back to a track, and all the time and all the time. It's pretty fun. I
Sweet.
actually was good enough to the point where I got like, not like it's like a sponsor, but I don't even know if it's really a sponsor. I got sponsored by Woodcraft like pegs.
Mm. Okay.
You
Gotcha.
know, like
Yeah.
they make race pedal, or not pedals, race
Uh,
pegs, foot pegs.
yeah. Foot
Yeah, they
peg.
make
Yeah.
those. Yeah, they make them like really well. So I don't know. They kind of said, because they noticed that I was really really good.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a guy at the racetrack that we went to. We actually go to Black Hawk Farms Raceway in Chicago or in Illinois, and the guy that is part of the people that help that place to like organize that event and stuff like all the time was actually my driver instructor for
Oh,
motorcycles.
nice.
So when I showed up, like the dude saw me like I don't even know, like a couple months prior, and then I showed up with 1,000 RR, and this dude's like, "Didn't you like just get your license like a couple months
Yeah.
ago?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean this is kind of like my first bike, so."
Yeah.
And then I don't know, I sent it, and I got really good. I got really good really fast. I was
Nice.
dragging knee within 2.5 months, I think.
Very nice.
I was within a second of like one of the fastest times at Black Hawk Farms. So,
Wow. Nice.
or not a second. I think 2 seconds, 2 seconds. I think
Okay.
I forgot what the time was, but yeah, I was just killing it. And then some people there,
Just
because
natural.
there's like yeah, there's Ducati. Ducati was there.
Yep.
Like the sponsors and everything like that. Woodcraft was there, and then some other people who did tires. I think Pirelli tires were there. And I don't know, like the Woodcraft guys saw me, and they're like, because one of the Woodcraft guys was actually one of the driving instructors that are on the track, because there's like people that you follow out onto the track, and then once you're safe and going about, then you kind of split off and you can pass the instructors and stuff like that.
Okay.
So one of those guys worked for Woodcraft. He saw that I was actually really fast, and he's like, "Hey, I can get you tire warmers, and foot pegs and shit like that if you sign for whatever the hell it is." So I don't even know if it
Cool.
was really a sponsorship, but I
Yeah.
signed for that. But
Just wanted to give you free
I don't know, dude.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, literally, exactly. And he
Yeah.
thought that I had good talent. I literally know so much about just like handyman stuff that I feel
Yeah.
like I could build a house. Like
Sure.
it's so much.
Sure.
Done piping, done drywall, done painting,
Yep.
done furnishing, done like putting in like everything. I've fully installed an entire bathroom, like everything,
Sure.
everything on it, caulking. So I don't know. I just do all that. It's good money, and then
Yeah. You're living the good life. He's got the stressful life
yeah,
in
dude.
Manhattan.
I was literally like, I will take this life over your life any day of the week,
Yeah.
dude. He's literally complaining about like stuff all the time, and I'm just like, I got to play video games and hop in my Mustang and go to Starbucks and grab a coffee and just have no one on the road on the way home, and
Yeah.
I just got to do whatever I want. So
Yeah.
it's like, enjoy the subway to work, dude.
Dude.
Shit's so bad.
So-
So when I played TF2, I think my last season was I think season 19 or 18. I forgot which one it was, but I did really well. I think my last season that I played, I was statistically the best sniper in the league by far. So I was like at the point where I felt like I was at the top. And once you get to the top, it's like I'd rather quit now when I'm at the top than fizzle out and become like, that's that guy that was good one day, and then
Mhm.
next year he sucked or something like that. So I just decided to kind of leave at the peak of it. But it was also like, I don't know, I really didn't like the community, because the community was getting really toxic, because I was calling out a lot of people for cheating in the league, and people were saying that like I was crazy, I didn't know what I was talking about. But like, if you've seen my aim is like top tier. If I call someone out for cheating, chances are there's a pretty high probability they've got to be using something or anything like that. So
Was it not monitored? You know, in that
no,
competitive play?
our TF2 thing, our only anti-cheat was Valve.
Okay.
It wasn't like ESEA where it's ESEA's anti-cheat or ESL or anything like that. There was no anti-cheat, so you could literally buy $20 hacks in the league and nobody gave a shit. So there's a lot of people that were cheating in that community. No one actually believed me. But then I think like a year and a half after I quit, I like predicted the biggest ban wave in history of TF2. I think like 400 something people got banned in
Damn.
competitive TF2. So
Hmm.
that's a lot. That's like the whole league damn near almost died. That like
Yeah.
that's a lot of people banned in a league.
Well, and people lose faith in the game. I mean,
Yeah, exactly, because they just know other people are cheating. I know heavies that cheated. I know obviously sniper's the most common one because it's all aim. But I don't know. There's people like, if someone were to just cheat with walls, just completely unpredictable, and just make really good calls, no one would call you a cheater. There's no way. You could just say like, oh, I don't know, I just had good game sense there. Like I just figured someone was shooting over there, so that means that someone's not over here. Like, you know, you can just make up some
yeah.
dumb story and people will believe you. But
Right.
yeah, I predicted a bunch of people cheating in that game, and then I don't know, I just laughed about that. And then I think I transitioned to Overwatch. So when I left TF2, it wasn't
Okay.
that good of a leave. I just didn't really like everyone in the community. Like when I left, people were telling me to like kill myself. Like they were
That bad.
heavy duty. Yeah, they were really toxic. I didn't really like the community anyways, because there's just like so many like weird people. But
Yeah.
then I went to Overwatch, and speaking about weird people, get ready for this. We went to Overwatch, and then Overwatch is just filled with a community that I just can't handle. It's just so different. They're so. It's not like TF2. TF2 is like, I don't even know. It's just like American, and then everything else is like multicultural. So you ran into like people that had different like opinions about things. Like there's people that I'd run to that were racist towards Americans. Like if you just talked and you were American, like people were just not nice to you for like whatever
Yeah.
reason. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That community wasn't really good either. But it was really funny when I played TF2 and I went right to Overwatch for like a whole month and a half. Every game that I played in Overwatch, people were like, "Oh shit, are you VXIOW from TF2?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am. What's up?"
That's
And like
nice.
it was just so cool. It felt like a celebrity. I don't know. It's so weird. Like I kid you not, every game for 2 months, someone would recognize me. It got to the point where my buddy Jan, that I used to play Overwatch with, he would be like, "Oh, it's VXIW, it's trusty sidekick Zalukas," and like stuff like that, just kind of like tagging along on the fame because it was just getting out of control every single game.
Jeez.
Some because like I would stream to like 200 people when
Mm-hmm.
I streamed, but I mean like I wasn't streaming consistently to 200 people. I streamed maybe consistently to like 50 people, I think.
Sure.
But then like when matches and stuff were done, the entire community would just like huddle into my stream, and they would just kind of be like the hub of memes.
Sure.
Like there was just I don't even know. People would post the dumbest memes in stream chat. They'd post like the Wikipedia copy paste of like school shooter documentaries, like the dumbest things
Weird
you could
things.
ever
Yeah.
imagine. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
I know, yeah. And then so I went from that to Overwatch, and then Overwatch, I think I never streamed Overwatch. I don't know if I did or not, but I think some people told me to. A lot of people told me to actually. I remember that.
What were your
Yeah, I
reasons
never
not
did.
to?
I don't know. I didn't think that I would ever become anything in the game. I
Okay.
rank one or not rank one, but season one I was ranked 71, so I was doing pretty good. But I don't know. It was just like I was at the point in time in my life where I didn't want to play video games. I'm like I just don't want to get into video games. TF2, the community killed it for me. I didn't want to play competitively. People are just like anytime money's involved, somebody's gonna cheat. So I just
Yeah.
didn't want to be around that. If and around that time I was getting kind of more into like car racing and stuff, and I was like, at least with cars, like people cheat by like changing some things in the engine to make it minorly faster.
Yeah.
But it's hard to cheat real life.
No. Yeah.
Can't It's like a basketball. You can't just like click a button and just boop boop
Yeah.
boop drop it in the hoop. It's like you have to actually do that.
Yep.
So I wanted to get more into like racing at that point, and I didn't want to take Overwatch so seriously because I don't know. I just didn't like community transfer, and then Overwatch was just toxic beyond belief. Like
Sure.
early season one, I don't even think there was a report button. I don't remember, but it was
It,
just so bad. But like to be a good video gamer, I know dudes. I've seen dudes on YouTube that play games without arms. Like
mm-hmm. Yeah.
anyone can play a video game.
Yeah.
That's the difference between sports and video games, and
Yeah.
that's why you're gonna access more people.
Yeah.
It's like if you think about Apex or like let's say Doom. Like Doom is an incredibly violent, gory game, so kids under the age of like 10 can't play it.
Yeah.
But like Fortnite, I know 5-year-olds. I literally have played Fortnite with a 5-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Like anyone can play. There's disabled people that can play.
Yeah.
Anyone can play no matter what they are, boy, girl. No athleticism matters whatsoever. You sit in a chair and you use a hand and a mouse, or
Yeah.
a hand and a keyboard and mouse, and
Yeah.
you just kind of go.
What it frustrates
But
the
you,
it frustrates the shit out of athletes like myself because
mhm,
I can't compete at the high level, and it's just like, well, I got to practice, and I don't have enough time to practice, and so the
yeah,
amount of hours that you have to put in this stuff is crazy, and you're not just
yeah,
born into being good. I mean, some people obviously have a skill set; they don't have to practice as much, and they have a way with their hand movement and know how to aim better. But yeah, it's crazy.
yeah. I don't know. Like I feel like some people are naturally good at it, and some people like aren't. But I know people that aren't very good aim trainers, but they're very mechanically smart. Like
Mm-hmm.
instead of like running into a room and just raw aiming, hitting
Mm-hmm.
everybody. I know people that will like bait people to come out of the building and then get an angle on them with like high ground. Like sometimes you can be bad mechanically with your aim, but like talking about firefights and engagements and stuff, you can literally win based off just being smarter sometimes.
Yeah. Yep.
Like there's literally like 35-year-olds that play CS:GO because it's not always aim.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty easy to play CS:GO at a high level if you're smart because it's all a mind game. Most Someone did like a statistic on it. Most of your engagements are within like a 35-degree circle of where you're originally aiming. if you're aiming correctly in the right spot. That's why some CS:GO players play with extremely low CS or senses. So if you play with a low sensitivity, that means you have to place your shots more, which means you have to think. And I don't know, if you play with an incredibly high sensitivity, that means that you're constantly having to look somewhere that you're not looking, which means you're being dumb. Like you are not looking correct location.
Where you
And
need
you're
to be.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Some older people have the ability to do it, but they just, like you said, you just don't have the time.
Yeah.
People have full-time jobs, lives. They got a wife and kids. They got a girlfriend. They got a fiance. They got family. They got to see. They got to hang out with their friends. It's like you know how much time I spent with my girlfriend in that week that I played like 94 hours in 5 days?
None.
I didn't see. I
Yeah.
didn't see any of my friends. Didn't see any of my. I didn't see my not any of my girlfriends, but I haven't seen my only one girlfriend. But like friends, out of the question. I haven't seen my friends in like 2 months.
Yeah.
Literally have not hung out with any of them. I think I went to go hang out with them for like 30 minutes one night, and then they just went to sleep. Just drove home. But
Well, your sleep schedule is probably messed up too because of it.
yeah, exactly. So like I show up to their house after like scrims or something, have a beer with them, and then they just go to sleep. So it's like, all right, cool. And then I just go home and go right back to gaming. So it's like some people don't have the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially with the working out. It's like I used to work out all the time, and
Yeah.
then Apex came out, and I started grinding that, and I haven't worked out in like 2 months. I originally had fun when I was playing TF2, and I like observed other people because I just like learning what they do and what works really well. It's like, how do you become the best? You learn from the best, and the best part is that you can literally go to like, hey, this guy was the best player in TF2, and at the time, and it's just like, hey, I want to watch you play, and you just watch him play, and
Yeah.
you watch it over and over and over again. You get rid of the things that he does bad, and then you just copy what he does that's good,
Yeah.
and you just do it better.
Yeah.
It's so easy, and some people don't understand that.
So with that, are you coaching anybody? Do you coach at all? I mean, what do you?
I've mentored people before. They used to pay me like 20 bucks or something like that.
Mhm.
I can't remember. They want me to. I've signed snipers before in TF2, and I've mentored I think 8 people. But after about like the 7th or 8th time, like it got to the point where I was teaching the same thing, and it kind of became like redundant.
Yeah.
So I just started recording what I was telling these people, and I just saved it on VODs on my Twitch. So
Mhm.
like I've had people that I've mentored that turned out to be really good TF2 snipers. Like I don't know, just when I mentored them and I coached them, they turned out to be really good. I don't know. People say that I'm a really good like teacher and coach because the way that I teach is I focus on what they're doing wrong more than what they're doing good. But
Mhm.
most people like say like, oh hey, you're doing this really well. If you keep going and doing that, then you're gonna have more success. But I literally just focus on eliminating the things that
The
they're doing wrong.
weakness. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly, because like I don't know, it's you get rid of the dumb things, and then once they're not making any more dumb mistakes, then you start teaching them like how to become a better
Yeah.
aimer, how to have like the right seating position for your mouse and your monitor distance from your face and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah. It's the same
what?
thing in sports. I mean, if you're a really good
Mm-hmm.
shooter but you don't play any defense, what's the point of only shooting the ball? I mean, you got to learn defense, and
Exactly.
you don't really need to focus on what you're strong at. You're already strong naturally at that part of the
Mm-hmm.
game. So yeah, I
Yeah, like
100%.
you focus on becoming a better like basketball shooter once you know how to stop the other people from shooting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you shoot all day, you're not going to be the best where you hit every shot. But turns out they're going to come and hit their normal dumb shots that are really easy, and
Yeah.
you're going to lose because of it. So
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
don't know. The same concept kind of applied to coaching these people when I played. But
Yep.
yeah, they turned out to be really great players. A lot of the people that came to me were actually very, very good, and they just needed a little bit of help, and I helped them. And they said that like the dumb little tiny things that I told them and taught them, they literally wouldn't be where they're at today without it. So I'm
Sure.
really I don't know. I'm honored to say that like I got people that learned from me and they turned out really good. So that's really cool.
I fix it.
Yeah, I'm not picking up Apex competitive until they fix it or add custom games. There's a lot of pros that are done doing it
Yeah.
as well.
I mean,
You can't even get scrimmed anymore.
I'm like
Bad.
Shroud. He came out publicly and said something about just going right back to PUBG and
Yeah,
just
it's
screwing
bad.
Apex. So I don't know. It sucks because I think Apex has a lot of potential. They have to fix their servers. They have to get serious about making money off of it or making it a fun game to watch.
Literally, like I just dropped and this dude's got a blue armor and a Spitfire. and I got a Mozambique and white armor and a thermite grenade. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. That was exactly what happened before I quit Apex. I literally got a Mozambique and a thermite grenade.
Mm.
And some dude got a blue armor and a Spitfire, just mulched us, just absolutely destroyed us because he just got a stupid lucky job.
Yeah.
If this game wants to take off competitively, they need to have it where everyone has a baseline of guns, or they need to literally have like
They
every location be maxed out loot. Like I'm talking like get rid of Mozambiques, get rid of pistols, get rid of like bad things that aren't good.
so like patch notes, for example, is that how important is that as a gamer? I mean, an actual top tier gamer, professional gamer. Do you just read
Uh,
in and out of that, or does it not really affect your gameplay much?
it would be important in a game like CS:GO maybe, but they don't really change too many things. But I mean, TF2, I didn't really care about that game because that was too chaotic to really be so like minute. Like they changed like
Mm-hmm.
the position of a rock, or they changed like the position of a, or like what a gun does.
Mm-hmm.
Because the league in TF2 changed simple things. Like there's a shield that you could put on your back as a sniper so you can't get backstabbed by a spy. That got outlawed from the pro scene, or not the pro scene,
Kind
but
of like
the
the
UGC
pan
league.
with PUBG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that got changed so that you actually couldn't put that on anymore. So they changed it so that you had to wear something else. So
Okay.
those type of metas were important, but they weren't like patch notes. But
Mm.
in a game like CS:GO, I think patch really they were never important for me. I
Okay.
mean, just like the patch note for Apex that just came out. If I was still playing Apex like really hardcore right now, I'd just figure it out. Like I'd get a wingman and be like, oh hey, the bullets are only 4,
Right.
not 6,
Right.
and then I'd kind of adapt to it. But I mean, like the tiny, minute patch notes, I don't think those are really that important. So I don't know. The R99 is my favorite gun of all time, but I had to adjust and get used to the wingman because you just can't beat being like I don't even know how to describe it. If you have an R99, someone would have to be exposed for a pretty good amount of time to get a whole entire mag off.
Mm-hmm.
But a whole entire mag, if you do an entire mag where you hit like I don't know 50% of your shots, something like that, you might do like 60 to 70 damage or something like that. I've seen people in league like if there's a head glitch right here, they'll literally just go pop and then they'll shoot you and do 45 damage instantly like that,
Yeah.
and then they're gone instantly. But when you're like in the R99, you have to go boo, and then you
And
have to
then
get
come
down and
back. Yeah.
reload and then come back and repeat.
Yep.
But that entire time that you're shooting, you have to be above the line. But
Yeah.
with the R99, you can just go whoop and shoot, and then you're right back behind cover. So you just can't beat it.
Sure.
So I had to literally like I don't know. The wingman's the best gun in the game, but the gun that I perform the best with is the R99. I can shred kids like that, like you wouldn't even believe. But
Mm.
the wingman, I just had to use because it is just too good.
To say like 5 years makes a difference, but I really do think 5 years makes a
It
difference.
does.
But
Makes a
like,
huge difference. I even say that I'm too back on the what's it called? I'm on like the back end wave. I don't think it's possible for me anymore. I
yeah,
genuinely believe that if I kept playing every day until the age of like 30, it wouldn't even matter.
sure. But,
Like if
but
it wasn't for Doctor Disrespect having like a what's it called, the personality that he kind
yeah,
of plays, like it's almost like acting. It's like watching a TV show.
yeah, yep,
If it wasn't for that, he wouldn't be important.
yeah,
His skill isn't insane. It's not fun to watch. The only thing that's fun to watch about his show is that it's literally,
it,
or not his show, but his stream is that it's because it's literally like a show.
it
It's a
is. Yeah,
TV show. It's production quality.
yeah,
If you watch his transitions, the things that happen on his stream, the animations that show up on his stream, these are all crazy.
yep,
It would take a lot of time for that. Like you have to have literally like a TV crew to do this stuff
yeah,
in like a room in the back that would like click a button at the right time.
yep,
One guy can't do all that. One guy can't play, can't talk to his stream, and like do all this shit at the same time,
right,
and code it, and make all the YouTube videos for all of his stream highlights and stuff. You can't. Team of people.
yep.
Literally a production team of people working to make a production quality stream.